Hello, I'm Giselle Gamby, host of the Intuitive Pull podcast and business and life coach. My coaching business has consistently brought in $500,000 in revenue for the past 10 years, not from any external strategy, but from being the intuitive entrepreneur. Having worked strategy first, as most people do, with little results, I know that authenticity is profitable, and the deeper you go, the greater your wealth always. And so this podcast is here for you if you desire more, deserve more, and are called into more in relation to your wellness and purpose, business and career, finances, relationships, and health. If you're stuck, feel like you've lost your mojo, and equally if you're doing really well, but you know that you and your life could be so much bigger, so much more purposeful, and so much more impactful. Join myself and my guests as we explore 2024's theme, Untapped Abundance. I love creating ripples, and so here's to creating even more ripples this year for this wonderful intuitive pull community. My intuitive pull friends, I have a couple of episodes to record today. The first one is actually a piece of writing that I did last week, and normally when I write, I then translate it here on this podcast and I speak to it from a place of ad-libbing and translating what I wrote. But my sense is for this particular episode, there's no point in doing that. I am just going to be a little bit unconventional, and I'm going to read you what I wrote on my Substack article. So this is definitely one of those hard-hitting messages. It's absolutely an energy that I have felt in the last little while. It's an energy that I'm observing other people are feeling also around me. And so I spoke, or I should say I wrote to that energy last week, and I want to share it here on this podcast. So here we go. I write this for those who have hit into that moment and in their heart of hearts have decided that they are done, they are finished, they can no longer put up with and can no longer compromise what they know they're here for, can no longer compromise who they know they're here to be, can no longer compromise what they know they're here to experience, and can no longer deny their leadership and the impact they know they are here to make. Ad-libbing here, that energy has been working me so much the last 2 weeks, and it's been a powerful energy to be present to for what it has since shown me, which I'm not quite ready to talk about yet. But it's very exciting and it is extremely relevant to the intuitive pull listeners. So I continue. I write this for those who have promised themselves to live their fullest, most abundant, authentic, and purposeful life, and know they are off the mark of that reality. No matter what they have done and how hard they've tried, they can't seem to move beyond the current level of results they've experienced so far. And whilst those results may have been phenomenal at one point, frankly, they are now underwhelming. I write to tell you that I see you and I know the way through. I know the path that must be taken, the path that says with reverence, thank you for all you have given me so far. You have given me so much. But I now have no choice but to meet the next generation of me. I've witnessed the path from public failure and shame to stepping into leadership that is sought after as the only person in Australia with that level of expertise and be financially rewarded in new and significant ways. I've witnessed the path of depression and feeling less than to finding their place in life as a published author and screenplay writer, all because they returned everything back to love. I've witnessed the life-changing diagnosis of cancer and other illnesses be the undeniable antidote for those who have lived their life in control. I have witnessed their journey into true and authentic wellness, and the knowing that the best is not over, but right here, right now, and there is more to come. I've witnessed tears and breakdowns in family dynamics and misunderstanding, chaos, and loss being stitched back together with fierce, unconditional love, and the only standard of measurement worth having, that of a miracle and no regrets. I've witnessed financial strain, failure, and even bankruptcy be the wake-up call needed to undo what could previously not be seen, and for that to be the path to true wealth in all ways, including a level of financial abundance that was once inconceivable. I've witnessed all of these paths and so many more, and they all came to fruition because of that moment when in their heart of hearts, they decided that they were done, finished, could no longer put up with and compromise what they know they're here for, who they know they're here to be, what they know they're here to experience, and the impact they know they are here to make. Do you define the I'm done, finished, can no longer put up with and compromise moment as failure, as not being good enough? Not on my watch. The reason why you are done, finished, can no longer put up with and compromise is because your identity that has been a match for the version of reality you've experienced up until now is expiring or may well have expired. And most importantly, because another level and quality of result that you've not yet had the privilege of experiencing is seeking you. It is seeking you because it has an ulterior motive to remind you of your infinite nature and call you into being the demonstration of what is possible, so that those in your care and leadership see that it is also possible for them. This is why you are done, finished, can no longer compromise, put up with, for this ultimate reason. But you cannot create the new from the paradigm that created your life so far. There is a new expression of you to be seen, seized, claimed, and executed. The untapped abundance of who you already are and the untapped abundance of who you are to become. This is a time in your life that is demanding of a world-changing paradigm breakthrough shift in identity, where the level and quality of result that you've not yet had the privilege of experiencing is revealed. Some will let go and fully surrender into this irrefutable intuitive pull. It is so beautiful to witness and to see the level and quality of result that unfolds. Others will allow circumstances to intervene and postpone, but delaying the inevitable will eventually bring the catalyst of drama and chaos to force their hand. You know what I'm up for? I'm up for the joy of witnessing more. Some would think that the coach knows more, that I know what's going to happen. I know the pathway and the outcome will be better than anticipated, but the actual on-the-ground results are not up to me nor even my clients, because love always has bigger, more generous gifts for all than the ones we decide are important. And I'm so ready to witness more. So it's really interesting that I read this article that I wrote the week before last on the 13th of May. And so much has unfolded in my life in the last 8 days. And it's quite phenomenal as I read that article that I wrote 8 days ago, that on one level, I know to be true through what I've experienced in my process and others. But on another level, being given messaging that I had not heard before. And it's just really interesting to see what has unfolded in real life since I wrote this, that the messaging that was new in this article is actually now being experienced. So I welcome you to listen to this or watch this episode again, because there's a lot in this episode. And maybe there'll be pieces that really speak to you. And then go and live life out in presence, and maybe come back to this in 8 days' time, like I just did here, and see if what spoke to you that maybe was new in this episode, see if it's starting or has started or has already integrated in your lived experience. Just see. It was I didn't expect for this to happen. It was quite an interesting experience reading what I wrote 8 days ago and seeing what has arrived in my lived experience since then. So I'm going to kind of leave you with a cliffhanger, because there is something very new, something very unexpected in my leadership that has revealed itself. Something that I never thought was for me to hold. And it arrived last Monday, and I have presenced it every day since then. And it has grown legs and a life of its own. And when I share it with people, such as my coach and the people on that program, my peers, just the amount of goosebumps that people are experiencing when I share this is pretty awesome. And I'll just leave by saying this, that it's an intuitive pull, surprise, surprise, that I know inside of my body, I know, even now I can feel it all here, is going to create a lot of magic in the world. And as I said, the irony is that I never thought that this vision that has been shown to me would ever have been mine to hold. The irony. Thank you for being with me. Now to record the next episode. Ciao, ciao. Hey guys, if you love this podcast, I have 2 requests. Number 1, sign up to the newsletter, which you can find in the show notes. Sharing is one of my superpowers, and there is only so much that I can share through the medium of podcasting. And I have very big plans this year to be radically generous to you. So sign up to that newsletter, where you'll be able to receive a whole lot more that I trust will be super valuable to you. And number 2, I'm a massive referrer of the people I love to the people I love. Please share this episode or podcast with the people you love, and let's create some more breathtaking ripples of impact.